Hi, my name is Lanny Swerdlow. I am the director of the Marijuana Anti-Prohibition Project, an Inland Empire-based medical marijuana patient support group and law reform organization. I'm also a registered nurse, for your information, and welcome to another one of my visual email newsletters. It's got all kinds of information about the Inland Empire and what's going on here, so let's get to it. 16 people have signed up to form a Riverside County Democratic Cannabis Club. All we need is 4 more, and we can submit the paperwork and become the first Democratic Cannabis Club in California, maybe the nation. If you are a Democrat registered in Riverside County, or if you live in Riverside County and will register as a Democrat, here's your opportunity to become a charter member of the Riverside County Democratic Cannabis Club and be part of history in the making. Yes, history in the making. Now, if you would like to become one of these very special people, send me an email to Lanny, L-A-N-N-Y, at marijuananews.org, Lanny at marijuananews.org, and I will email you information on becoming a charter member, plus the form to fill out and sign. All our problems are political, and until we get involved politically, we will continue to be ignored, run over, and decimated by those who oppose us. With 1 million medical marijuana patients in California, we should be an unstoppable force instead of an impotent punching bag for the $50 billion a year taxpayer-funded drug cop industrial complex manipulating the Obama administration and state and local elected officials across the nation. Poll after poll after poll shows that we are winning the hearts and minds of the general population. But if we don't get politically involved, all the favorable polls mean nothing. Will you be one of the people to put us over the top and get us involved? Please do it. Email me now, Lanny at marijuananews.org. Okay, now let's turn to Assembly Bill 2552, now worse than ever. This bill was introduced by Assembly Member Norma Torres, who is a Democrat in Pomona, and she amended AB 2552 and made it even worse. The bill, which originally set a zero tolerance level for marijuana in a driver's bodily fluids, now sets a zero tolerance level for any scheduled drug in a driver's system. What was a cop's dream bill has become a virtual orgasmic fantasy for police. Now, here's what the revised bill would do. It would make, quote, unlawful for a person who has the detectable amount of any controlled substance identified in Section 11550 of the Health and Safety Code to drive a vehicle and concurrently to do any act forbidden by law or neglect any duty imposed by law in driving the vehicle, which act or neglect proximately causes bodily injury to any person other than the driver, except when the controlled substance was administered, dispensed, or prescribed by a person licensed by the state to administer, dispense, or prescribe controlled substances. End quote. Okay, that's what the law does. But it appears that this bill would apply to medical marijuana. As the bill says, it must be, quote, administered, dispensed, or prescribed, end quote. And medical marijuana is recommended. The bill does not mention non-psychoactive metabolites, so a urine test may not be sufficient to charge you with a DUI. A blood test? Oh boy, that they can use. And a blood test can reveal marijuana in your system for up to 48 hours and even longer for heavy users after it was ingested. Long past time when there would be any impairment from its use. Now, Dale Geringer of Cal Normal has written that, quote, the bill essentially sets a double standard for DUI prosecutions. If an accident is caused due to impairment by prescribed drugs, the driver is not automatically considered DUI, even if he or she was grossly impaired. If, on the other hand, an accident occurs and the driver happens to have a detectable drug traces that were in no way impairing, then you are going to be considered DUI. The revised bill arbitrarily assumes that non-medical drug use is impairing, and medical drug use is not. A blatantly false assumption. The major impact of this bill seems to be to further criminalize users of non-politically approved drugs, apparently including medical marijuana. End quote. That's what Dale Geringer says. It seems like a test can only be administered if you are involved in an accident, but that is all still conjecture, as no one has actually spoken with Ms. Torres or anyone connected with the bill, and it has not had a hearing in the State Assembly yet. As a consequence, at the MAPP meeting on Wednesday, April 4th, we spoke about this bill, and it was decided that we should ask for a meeting with Ms. Torres. Now, since Ms. Torres represents the 61st Assembly District, which is in the Inland Empire, it would seem more than appropriate for patients in the IE, and particularly those in the 61st Assembly District, to meet with her. I have not heard from anyone in the movement that they were contacted by Ms. Torres, so I think it is a distinct possibility that she has never heard from any medical marijuana patient on how the bill would affect them. So, following the meeting, I contacted her office and requested a meeting. I was told that the request would be forwarded to her schedule and this person would get back to me. Well, needless to say, no one got back to me, so I called back and actually spoke with the scheduler this time. She said she had not gotten the information, so I gave it all to her again, and she said she would get back to me about setting up a meeting. Well, hopefully the meeting will be scheduled. So check out this website, marijuananews.org. Look at my visual email newsletters. Subscribe to my email newsletter. You can do that on the website, and you will know when it's going to happen, if the meeting is going to happen. And, you know, if we do have the meeting, it's probably going to take place in our office, so the number of people who can attend is going to be somewhat limited. So if you'd like to be one of those people in attendance, send me an email. Let me know. See what we can do. All right, I want to talk about a lawsuit that is going to come to trial on Monday, April 16th. This is my civil lawsuit against Paul Chabot for malicious prosecution. Mr. Chabot charged me with battery for allegedly me pushing him. I never touched the guy. We went through a year-long criminal trial proceedings. It had a 4-day trial, and I was found not guilty by the jury, which is, of course, I wasn't guilty. And so now I am suing him for malicious prosecution. This trial begins this Monday, April 16th at 8:30 in the morning with jury selection. It's probably going to run 2 days, maybe 3 days. If you would like to attend the trial, please do so. It would be wonderful to see you there. Once again, it begins this Monday, April 16th at 8:30 in the morning, and it's going to take place at the Rancho Cucamonga Courthouse, 8303 North Haven Avenue in Rancho Cucamonga, California, 91730. Okay, I want to mention the upcoming meeting of MAPP at the Victorville, Hesperia area. This meeting will take place on Thursday, April 19th at 7 o'clock. Everyone is invited. We're going to be talking about everything that is going on here locally and in the state and the nation. You know, there's a lot of great things going on in the nation, too, like in Colorado and Washington with their legalization initiatives. So we're going to be talking all about that. Plus, one of the collective operators is going to be at the meeting to talk about what patients can do working together to protect the rights of collectives to continue to operate in the high desert area. The Victorville Hesperia meeting will take place, like I said, on Thursday, April 19th. It begins at 7 p.m. and it meets in Building E, that's E as in Edward, at 9608 I Avenue. That's I as in intelligent, in Hesperia, 92345. Once again, the Victorville Hesperia meeting, Thursday, April 19th, 7 p.m., Building E at 9608 I Avenue, Hesperia, 92345. Lastly, I want to remind you I have a radio show I do every Monday at 6 p.m. You are cordially invited to listen in. If you live in the Inland Empire, you can catch it on IE Talk radio station KCAA 1050 AM. If you don't live in that area, or if you live in that area and you still want to listen to it on the internet, you can listen to the simulcast on the internet at www.kcaaradio.com. We always have great guests, wonderful discussions, and you can actually call in with your comments and questions as well. That's every Monday, 6 p.m., IE Talk radio station, KCAA 1050 AM, and on the internet at www.kcaaradio.com. Well, thank you for watching my visual email newsletter. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned some things. I hope it's motivated you to get involved and come to one of our meetings or one of our events or anything that is going on. Hey, if you have any questions, send me an email to Lanny, Lanny, at marijuananews.org. I will respond as best I can. Thank you, and until next time, keep on what we're doing. We're going to win this.